Hey guys, it's TFNut. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing another action figure review. This time it's going to be of the brand new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Azrael Batman Armor figure. Just in time before the end of the month because I haven't reviewed a brand new May action figure all month, unfortunately. I was pretty excited about this one. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of the McFarlane Toys DC stuff, but I was digging this one. It looked really cool from the promotional images a few months ago. Quick story time before we take a look at the packaging because I actually had this pre-ordered on Amazon. I got pushed to mid-June. I would have waited, but then I had to go to Target, get some things, got curious, went to the toy aisle, saw this. This was somehow marked down to $16 instead of the $23. I would have paid $23, but $16, that is a steal. Not only did I get lucky with that price, I got lucky and I also found the Platinum Edition that you see right here. This is insane. I had no idea this was getting a Platinum Edition. It makes sense because, you know, the retail version is going to be the red one. I missed out on the Walmart exclusive normal one that we all, you know, the Nightfall one, you know, with the blue. So this one having, you know, at least some kind of blue here in my collection, because I wasn't able to get that one, that's really sick. Very happy that I was able to find this one. Had no idea. So good luck trying to find this exact one right here. We are going to be taking a look at the packaging with this one here, but I'm not going to be taking it out of the box because this is one I'm definitely saving. So it's just too good not to, to open, I should say. So just like with the retail version, and it's with a lot of other McFarlane Toys figures too. McFarlane Toys on the top right, 22 moving parts, ages 12 and up. You also get the figure in the box you see there. You also have, as you can see, that two-tone of the comic panels. Ooh, tight. And then we do have the McFarlane Platinum Edition sticker right there. It's not going to be out like that on the retail version. DC Multiverse logo, as well as where it says Azrael Batman Armor. So that's pretty cool. I'm having trouble adjusting my camera. Right here, we do have DC Multiverse, just like on the front. Now on this right here, it just says Azrael Batman Armor, Batman Knightsend. And then you do have the McFarlane Toys logo down there. We look on this side here. Again, it just says Azrael right there. And this is a QR code, which we'll take a look at in the back, actually, for DC Universe Infinite. Now, on this side, you know, the back just says McFarlane Toys, Azrael Batman Armor, Batman Knightsend. Really cool artwork from, you know, the original panels. And then right there, we do have DC Universe Infinite and a barcode in case you need that in some of the McFarlane Toys social media links, or, you know, just where they are on social media. This is the barcode for the retail version. I don't know if it's different from the Platinum one. I'm pretty sure they're the same barcode. But just in case, I also have an image of the barcode for the Platinum one. I think that one's going to be pretty difficult to find, so good luck. Let's go ahead and get the retail version out of the packaging. And here is the figure out of the packaging. This thing is really nice when you get it out of the box and you have all those wing pieces assembled. It's really cool looking. I will say there are some common gripes I have with other McFarlane Toys figures, you know, that are present here. Not that that's a deal breaker or anything. Also, if you're expecting a figure that is brand new compared to the previous one, that gold label one, you might be disappointed. I don't own that one. Again, I can't compare, but there is reuse from that. Not that that's a bad thing at all, because it looked really good before and it's looking really good here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. Not a lot. Then we'll take a closer look at the figure. Here's a quick shot of the basic accessories we get with pretty much every McFarlane Toys DC figure that is a circular base that has the DC logo on it. It's just a black piece of plastic, and then we do have that collectible card right there. I also want to show you what the back of the card looks like right there, so you can pause and read that if you want. Now, we don't get any extra hands or anything where you could basically recreate the pose that he's doing on the box, so that would have been great. It's just fists on this figure. We get 6 of these exact same wing pieces, though, that are supposed to be in the figure, so really they're not accessories. It just would have been too big to put, you know, to have these ported into there already in the box. So they had it out and then you assemble it yourself. But the detailing on all of these, just like on the figure that you'll see, this has kind of like it's like a glossy, almost glittery type of plastic going on in here, and that really shines in the light. A lot of great circular detailing going on there. It looks really good. Nice rivets going on in there as well. It's nice points and angular pieces. These aren't too pointy, so like if you have a kid, that shouldn't be too bothersome there. And then you have this section here where it pegs in, and that's a little tab so it doesn't move around. So the idea, I already have these 5 pushed in there. The idea is basically, you know, there's a hole on the top of the shoulder here. There's 3 on each side. So you just push this in, and this is a soft plastic. This is a softer plastic shoulder piece here. All 6 of these ported in here do look really fantastic. You saw the 360 earlier. All this looks great. Things might look a little uneven in some areas. Like this could look like it's pushed to the right a little bit too much. You might push that a little bit if you want. The thing is that, you know, in theory, these could articulate, and I'm not really sure if they're supposed to, but this tab in here, you have this divot in here. So, you know, when you have all this locked in, that's really not going anywhere for articulation. So, you know, they're all just in a stationary pose. Some hinging, at least right here. Again, I'm not exactly sure how it's supposed to be done from the comic. I haven't read that one yet. This, you know, I guess it would have been cool if they had some type of articulation if it was even possible. And if not, like if these don't move at all, like in the comic panels, then I'm a dumbass. That wouldn't be the first time. This is a little bit back heavy, but it's not too bad. It can stand on its own pretty well if you know how to pose the feet in a little bit more widespread. As you can see, that it's not too widespread, but I mean, this thing in all, it looks really fantastic. We will not have these in during the detail section, though. They will get in the way. One more time, if reminding you guys that I do not own the previous one. That's the last time, I promise. What I will say is that between the you know, Walmart exclusive one, that gold label one, and this, the newest parts, of course, are going to be this head, and then you have this new chest overlay that goes over the gold. I do believe that these wrist pieces, even though they look very much like the previous one because of how these holes and these little claw pieces are done, they do have this belt section here that is attached there. So I do believe these are either retooled or they're a completely new sculpt. Other than that, from the images I've had to check before reviewing this, like the neck, this gray chest piece, the arms, the gray right there. I don't know about the hands. And then you have like the belt and this light gray section here. And then pretty much everything down. Like on the legs, the belt, and all that. Colors might vary compared to the previous one with how that yellow or gold comes out. But like sculpt-wise, this is a lot. I would say like 70, yeah, about maybe 60 to 70% reuse from the previous one. Now, that's really a bad thing because it looked really good before. But like I mentioned earlier, if you were looking for a ground-up brand new figure, you're not really going to get that there. And there'd be really no reason to. It was already pretty good. So, you know, just make the parts that need to be new, which is, again, talking about the head. And this stuff is new to me, so I'm going to be talking about it too. The plastic I was talking about earlier on those wing pieces, it's more prominent here where it's like this glossy, almost glittery type of red. And if it is glittery, it's very subtle to where you can't tell if there's any glitter in there. Lots of nice line detail around like the eye and around the cheeks here. And then that pointed chin looks great. This is a very menacing looking helmet. Very cool. A little bit of lighter red going on in this visor piece right here. And that paint is actually pretty clean. I think a very tiny splotch in there that you really couldn't notice. And you do have these slight soft plastic, I should say, earpieces up there. And then the back has some detailing as well. I'm really loving how this looks. It's really fantastic. Now on mine, we do have a splotch here of red and there. I'm happy to say that my Platinum Edition has no splotches, so that's the trade-off of finding this in a retail store, then I'll take it. I could also fix this up easily. Most of the black on here, painted on here, is pretty even. I don't know if like that should be covering closer to the chin. You can see that red kind of on there. Or chest, I should say. Did I say chin? But anyway, it's still like that sculpting is really nice with that bat logo. This is, again, a little bit of softer plastic. You can see how soft it is here, but because all this is glued on here, it does feel like it's a little bit tougher, which, you know, it's still not going to get in the way of articulation too much. Maybe just a little bit, but we'll get to that later. This, though, is a little bit of a softer plastic, too. And again, when you get like closer to like the inside of the figure, I guess I should say, or just getting close to like the torso, stuff like this, I mean, there's a lot of plastic here, but stuff like this is going to be a lot more, I wouldn't say rigid, but it's a little bit harder. It's definitely a softer plastic, so it's not going to really damage anything too much when you plug in those wing pieces, but you can feel, it's a little bit tougher. There's not really any kind of critique or anything. It's just the dimension. The gold on here and the like this neck piece is actually really good. I think they did a really nice job with that paint going on in there. And I want to say the same thing. If this is like a mold, I think this is painted, but if this is molded in gold somehow, this rivals a decent amount of times Marvel Legends does like molded metallic detail or colors. I will say it's maybe not that noticeable in person, but in the camera, this does look like a little bit of a lighter gold compared to this darker gold going on here. You do have actual detailing. That's not some type of peg, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it shouldn't be some type of like joint, but that is just that's part of the design going on in there. Yeah, it wouldn't really bother me if it was a joint, but you can also see how large this indent on the shoulder is, and then you have a little bit of gold on the bicep, how that looks. And then you get to the gray here, which has this nice like detailing, almost like a mesh type of detail, but there's no paint really going on here. The sculpting is still really good. Gold in that red again going on in this forearm piece. And I mentioned these belts are two pieces. They're all ported in here, so this comes from here. It's completely glued in here. You could remove this if you wanted to. There's no chance I'm going to do that. No bendy wire, but it doesn't really need it. It's soft enough to where it can move and it doesn't get in the way too much. Unless you start like twisting it all the way around and then like things start getting caught. Yeah, then maybe you'll eventually pull it. Again, I would have liked some actual hands because we just have fists. I mean, if we, just getting fists, so you can only do punching poses, I guess that's fine. Instead of just doing one fist and one open hand, that would have been awkward. But the silver on here is really nice, and then we do have this type of molded gold for that, but you're not going to notice that too much. Again, we have these like ab pieces, this padding, as you see here. There's detailing on the padding on this like almost white, definitely gray stomach piece going on. That is fantastic. There might be a little bit of a, I think that was lint actually. I thought it was a splotch. That's what the back looks like. Not much detailing going on there. Forgot to mention how this back piece here looks with all this line detailing going down. And I forgot to mention how soft the plastic is on the these claw pieces on the back. They are a very soft plastic, as you see there. So that's also soft plastic. And then you do have the Azrael butt going on there. We do also have the, I don't really know why I mentioned that. It's because the details of the mesh are on there. That's why I'm being dumb. Anyway, we have really nice detailing of these pouches right there. That is really sick, and I like how the buckles look on that. And again, it's all just molded in this type of light gray, and you do have some nice muscles on there. Again, that like slight mesh detail going on. Even some muscles on the knees. That's really sick. This belt, or this little like leg pouch all the way around, I believe that is the exact same as before, looking really good. These are a little bit more of a stiffer plastic, so be careful if you push these, they may break. And then you get down to the ankles, which, one thing I want to mention, like the form here, like with the musculature is breaking up, and I don't really know how to line it up too much, honestly. It's kind of weird looking as it is now. I mean, it definitely looks weird if it's more like this than that. So I'm just going to have to keep it front facing, I guess. I guess that's as natural as it's going to look. And some areas of this just don't really look that natural to me, but it's not too bad. And then we do have the feet here. Nothing real on the bottom, but you do have that slight mesh detailing. Maybe I'm not using the word mesh right. Maybe there's some other type of patterning on here, but that patterning throughout the gray is on top here. It's not as prominent as here or in the stomach, but it's still really nice. This thing is really nicely detailed. The stuff that was reused before is really fantastic, and what new here is really cool as well. Now again, we know those wing pieces don't move, so I'm going to keep them off for the articulation section. They'll get in the way and they'll be a hassle. So as you can see, we do have a dumbbell joint going on in here. It goes side to side. It can rotate really well, and it does have a nice down motion and then a pretty good up motion, actually. Really great head articulation going on here. We do have a bit of a butterfly joint This section here is just kind of this loose plastic piece in there. So, I mean, it doesn't really help with articulation at all. This is a little bit hindered with a full rotation at the shoulder because of this large shoulder piece here. Going all the way out though, that's how that looks, and that is pretty good. Upper arm swivel, you do get a double jointed elbow like so, and that bends really well. I want to see, is there, no, there is no rotation anywhere here, but you do have that standard hinge section here where it's like, you know, two types of rotation, and then the hinge, you can go in and out or up and down. Ball joint here at the waist, so it can swivel side to side. The back is really good, actually. The forward could be a little bit better. This kind of gets in the way, though. And then you do have additional movement here. If you grab the gray of the stomach and that waistband here, a little bit side to side. Yeah, and this is a little bit of a softer plastic crotch piece, but it doesn't look like it. Like, it all looks very consistent plastic-wise. So that rotation's really good, actually. Pushing it forward, that does bend the mold here a little bit, but not too bad. Just don't keep it like this for too long. Kick out like that. Back is not, it could be worse. Again, not a dedicated thigh swivel. There is enough give in here to have a little bit of thigh, but Todd, just do it. Just give us a thigh cut. Come on, man. The double jointed knee is fantastic, though. That works really well. Swivel here at the ankle, really nice. Up and down, really good. Ankle rocker, and then toe hinge, really nicely articulated here. Measuring out the figure, we're looking at around 18 to 19 centimeters here. It's going to be taller with those wing pieces, so just the top of the head, you're looking at pretty much under 7.5 inches. It is going to be the tallest McFarlane DC figure out of the three you see here, that being on the left, the Nightfall version from last year, that Batman. On the right, we have, I believe, the White Knight version of Azrael. That was from like 2020. I think that was like one of their first McFarlane DC figures. On the left, we have a standard size Marvel Legends Spider-Man. On the right, we have a standard size Black Series Mando, which are not going to be in scale with these McFarlane Toys figures. Since we don't have a lot of accessories here and I'm running out of time to try to edit this before today, just the one photo here you see is going to have to do, unfortunately. But this figure is really fantastic. I am really digging it. It is a great looking piece. It does have reuse from the previous one, but those parts looked really good before, and I'm finally happy to have a figure with those parts in hand to see just how good they are. And the new stuff here looks really fantastic for this version of Azrael, I should say. Now, again, I don't know if those wing pieces should move in the comics, so if they don't, then that's not really a complaint. But maybe a little bit of swiveling would have been nice, because there are some things that impede swiveling on that. But those wing pieces are pretty cool, really nicely detailed, but I do wish we had maybe some extra hands, just some extra accessories, not just those wing pieces that are supposed to be stuck in that figure. The articulation for the most part is great, save for like mostly really a couple joints in the shoulders, as well as mostly in the thigh, but that's still not too bad there. But this thing just looks fantastic. It's really fun to pose around. It is such a nice looking piece. And again, the blue one looks great too. So if you didn't get the previous one, this is a really great one. Even if you're not able to get that platinum version, I think just having this red one would be great. If you have the previous one, maybe skip out on this one unless you really like Azrael and you need this one here. It's really great. 23 bucks. Usually I got mine for 16 at Target. I'll try to leave a link down in the description below. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Comment down below what you think about this figure, what you think about the review. Leave a like, share amongst your friends. Follow me on Instagram for more content over there, and I'll see you guys later.